Alright, so I thought I'd just make a quick update video on what else I got done during the weekend. I managed to make my grease cover right here just from a piece of crazy carpet, and I spray painted that black, and so far the paint is sticking on, so far so good. And I did the same thing at the front here. Here's the water and rock cover I was talking about. I just took a crazy carpet and cut it to size in there, and then spray painted it black, so it all kind of just blends in nicely. It doesn't really stand out or anything. So yeah, the tank is actually bolted on now and everything. That's all finished up, and same with this fairing's all bolted on, but I haven't bothered bolting on this fairing quite yet because I still need to goof around with the sprockets some more, so I figured I might as well leave those bolts out. So yeah, I got the charger set up the way I want it now. I got it mounted on a metal plate here, and it's actually just charging right now, as you can see. And I ran it for about an hour on the weekend, and even with just this little fan blowing through the port there, the internal fan on the charger hardly ever comes on, and when it does, it usually only comes on for maybe 10 seconds or so. So it runs really cool even with just that little quiet fan on there, so it's really good. And yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty good setup. I just pull my bike into the corner here and back her up, and then the charging station's right in the corner there, so I just plug it in and away she goes. So yeah, everything's all good, and yeah, it's looking really good. I'm really happy with that charger, so it seems to do the business. Another thing I did is I actually I realized I made a mistake when I assembled all the batteries. When I was putting the bus bars on, what I did is I sanded away the terminals a little bit to like buff them or polish them, I guess you could say. And then I just put the bars on top, polished them, put the bars on top, and then put the bolts through and tightened everything up. But as it turns out, that was kind of not quite the right thing to do, because with those batteries, one terminal is copper and the other terminal is actually aluminum. So with the copper bars, that actually creates a bit of a problem, because copper to copper is no problem, but the copper to aluminum is actually a big problem, because as soon as you sand that aluminum, you get rid of the aluminum oxide, which is good. But then as soon as you get any moisture or air on the terminal again, that aluminum will oxidize, and aluminum oxide is not very conductive at all. So what you really need to do is you need to use a antioxidant compound on the terminal. So I got this stuff, what's it called? Aux Guard. Just got it from Home Depot. And you use it on connections that are for aluminum to copper interfaces, and just aluminum to aluminum, and just anything with aluminum in it, basically. And essentially what it does is it's just a paste, and you put it on the terminal, and you give it a light buff, just like I did initially there. But then you just leave the goop on the terminal, and it keeps it covered, and it keeps air and moisture from getting to the terminal and oxidizing it. So yeah, that's a big mistake I made when I built up this pack. So over the weekend I actually just went through and I loosened up all the bus bars again, and I put the compound on there and just repolished everything up and put it all back together. So initially I thought it was going to be a big pain in the butt, but it actually wasn't that bad. The hardest ones to do were just the middle pack, and to get to those, all I had to do was take one of the top ones out, so it actually wasn't too bad. And I was able to get in here without removing any of the batteries, and just loosen up the bolts and then retighten them back up again. So it's actually it's not too bad working on this bike with all those batteries crammed in there. So you can, the access to all the battery terminals is actually pretty good. So yeah, I think that's about it. Basically just waiting for sprockets now, so yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed these build videos, because the next videos are probably going to be about just riding the bike. So yeah, I hope everyone learned something and enjoyed these videos. And I'll have at least one or two more probably talking about the sprockets. But yeah, I don't have a helmet cam or anything, so I might just end up duct taping this camera to the tank, or maybe I'll just get my friends to film me while I'm riding the bike, and I'm sure they'll want to see it going too. So if I can, yeah, if we can work that out, then that'd be good. Get some video from of the bike from a chase vehicle or something. So yeah, as more unfolds, you'll see it. So there we go. I'll see you next time.